Hi, welcome to Sri Software Solution. In this session, we are going to learn about object-oriented concept in Java. Okay, for what purpose we are taking this session, we already explained. We are going to develop the Spring Boot application. For that, basic concept we have to learn. And here now I'm going to develop the program for classes and object and constructor. So how to create the program in core Java, first we will see that. Okay, now for that I'm going to use Eclipse IDE. First you have to create the path in which location you are going to save the file. Choose the path. I already choose the path here, and just I'm clicking OK. And before that you click the browse button and choose the path for the project location. Okay, and then you need to create the project, Java project. Okay, go to the file menu, new, and click Java project. And here what concept we are going to take? Class and object. Okay, so this is the concept I'm going to create right now. So I'm taking classes and object as a project name. Okay, and here I'm creating in 1.8 JDK 1.8. I'm going to execute, not 1.7. So choose this option and click next, and don't change anything here. Okay, and here also don't change anything, and click finish. That's it, our project is created. Okay, now inside that project we have one src folder and the jre. Okay, so for the basics JRE, that is Java runtime environment, whatever the file support we need, that will generate automatically for this project folder. Okay, and in src folder only we need to create the Java file. Okay, so you can select the src folder to create the Java file, or else you can choose the project folder also. I'm choosing project folder. In that I'm going to create the main function first. Okay, so for that you have to select class. Okay, and here we need to create the main function program name. I'm going to give program. Okay, and I need to generate the main function automatically. So for that I'm checking this checkbox. Here public static void main, the string argument function will automatically generate it here. Okay, so while we click that checkbox, and I need to create this Java file inside one folder, that is inside one package. Okay, so for that I'm using com.stream. Okay, like that I'm creating one package name, and inside that package it will create a program.java file including the main function it will create. Okay, just click finish and see in src com.stream folder, that is in this package, it will create the main function. Okay, main function class file. Here that package name is displaying here first. Okay, after that it will create a public class program. Public is an access specifier and class is a specifier, program is a identifier, that I already told you, no? So inside the class we need to create the main function. Okay, and no need this one, and here also no need this command line. Okay, just we'll have this as an empty. And here first whether the program is running or not, we'll check that one. So for that I'm using system.out.println method to print welcome to Java classes and object. Okay, like this I'm creating one message to print the output. First we will run and see the output. Okay, after that we will create a class. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so now if we need to write a static block also, we can write before main function the static block will execute. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Here classes and object, like that I'm changing the message. And here I'm going to change the message as student details. I'm going to print the student details. Okay, so for that I'm creating the message like this. This is a class. I need to create the student detail class. Just I'm writing like this. First I will save this. We'll see the output for this. Okay, see, classes and object student details. Okay, like that it will print the output. Okay, now we'll create the student detail class. So how to create? Go to the package and right click it and select new class. Okay, here what is the class name we planned? Student details. Okay, just press enter. Our class, public class student details, like that one class will create here. Okay, and for the student detail, what are the details we need? Int id, string name, and string course, and int mark. These are all the details we need. Okay, first declare whatever the variables we are going to use it for our student detail. Okay, so here I am using id, name, course, mark. These are all the member data. Okay, and we need to give the input for that variable, and then we need to print the output. Okay, so for that I'm going to create a function, public void get that class name. I will add it here, get student detail. Okay, and I need to display the student details, right? So for that, show student details, like that will give the name here. Okay, so now in get we need to get the input, right? This is the input method. So here I'm going to use the value, default value here, like this. I'm not going to get the runtime input. I will tell you one by one how to get the runtime input for that. So here I'm using a name. Okay, and then course Java mark 80. Okay, so like this I assign the value for the variable. If you call this get student detail function, whatever the declarations we declared, whatever the values we assigned, that value will assign for that variable. Okay, and finally if you call this show student detail function, it will print the output, right? So for that, system dot out dot print ln within a parenthesis. Here I'm going to write a student id plus yes id. Okay, like this I'm writing. Okay, now in the same way you just write it for the name. Here also name, and then course, and here mark. Okay, student mark. Okay, so everything it will print the output. Okay, and then uh, now the class is ready, and if we need to access this class, we need to create the object in our main function, right? So in main function, how to create the object for the class? Here we need to use a class name to create the object. Okay, so what is the class name? Student detail obj equal to new student detail. Okay, and using that object just call the get student detail function, and as well as call the show student detail function. That's it. So whatever the values we assign for that variable, using that variable value it will print the output. Okay, through the main function I'm accessing this student detail class. Just will run and see the output. See, whatever the informations we are having there, it will print everything. Okay, static block also is printing. Okay, and as well as this main function is executed here, and we created the object for the student detail get, and the show also is printing. Okay, so for a get function, whatever the values we assign here, that is printing. So how to get the runtime input? We have uh, we can use scanner object or buffered reader, okay, to get the runtime input. First time I will use the scanner object. So how to create the scanner object here? First, if I used a scanner, we need to import the util package. Okay, inside the util package only we are having a scanner class. Okay, first we have to import the util package, and then we need to create the scanner class. Okay, so this is the way to access the scanner class. Without util package, if you are trying to create the object for the scanner class, this package, this class will not execute. Okay, so without student details, suppose if you are going to access this get student, we can able to access it. No, so see, here I'm going to call the student get student detail. It's coming or not? It's not displaying, right? But if you call using object, if you're trying to call that function, it will displaying here, right? So we need to mention that object to access that function. Okay, in the same way we need to create the object for the class, and then using that object we need to call the function, then only the function will execute. In the same way, here also we have to import the util package. Inside the util package only we are having a scanner class. Okay, util is not it's like a folder. Okay, inside the Java folder they created one util folder, and inside that util folder we are having the scanner class. That's it. Okay, so that scanner class we have to create it like this way. Scanner s1 equal to new scanner system in. System in means it's getting the input. System out means it used to print the output. In system we are having four types. Here I mentioned two types: system in, system out. System in, it used to print the input. System out, it used to print the output. Okay, right now you just understand this one. Other two one I will tell you later. Okay, so here I'm having a scanner object, and I need to create the scanner object two times. Why? Because in this member data I'm having two types of data declaration. One is integer, another one is string. Okay, it will identify only the unique. Okay, so we are not supposed to access the single object for all the data type. Okay, that is an unique, so we need to create a two object for the scanner class. Why? Because I'm going to use the input for the integer na, I can use s1. If it is string na, we can use s2. Like that, each and every data types, how many data types you are going to declare it here. For each and every data type, if you are going to get the runtime input now, we need to create the different object. Okay, then only it will identify and it will print the output properly. Otherwise it won't get the runtime input. Okay, so it's identified only the unique object. Okay, suppose you are going to use s1 for the integer. Okay, after that again it is a string, again it is an integer, you are going to get the input using s1 object. Now in that time the program will not execute. You just try that one also, but right now I'm using two object. Okay, two object. One is s1 is for, I'm going to use s1 is for integer. Okay, I'm going to use s2 is for string. Okay, so like that you have to declare that different object. Okay, and then here I need to get the input, right? So for that, first I will give the message enter student id, right? In the same way, enter student name, enter student course, enter student mark. Okay, but I understand this one. And now whatever the default value we given here, that we have to remove it. Instead of that we need to use s1. This is for the integer, right? So for that, see, here we are getting next int. Okay, so that is a predefined method that is available in scanner class. Using that object, if you are going to access it now, that method, whatever the methods we are having in that class, it will display it automatically. Based upon your data type, you can get the input. Okay, so this is for the integer I'm using like this. And now I'm going to use string value. For that, next line we need to use it, and here it is for the string again, right? So s2 dot next line, and if it is again integer na, next int. Okay, if it is float means we'll do that one also. Here we'll make it as an height. Okay, float height. Okay, so if you are going to get the input for the height now, you have to declare one more object, s3. This we need to plan for the float data type. Okay, float data type. And here I'm going to get the float value. See, I'm just, for the time saving, I'm writing like this. Okay, so here student height. Okay, so what is the data type? Variable name float. Okay, what is the object for this? S3. We have to change the object as S3. Okay, for S3, see, it's displaying the error, right? So string to float, we are not able to get the input. Okay, so what we need to do here, in that time we need write next float. Okay, if I write next to float, the float value will get the input here. Okay, float value we can get the runtime input, and then here we'll print the output. For the output, I just copy this line and paste it. Student height. Okay, and here we need to call the height variable, right? That's it. Okay, like this way we need to get the runtime input using scanner object. Okay, so now we'll go to the main function, just save it and run. See, static block under that main function code, and object is created properly, and it's asking the input. Okay, enter student id. So here I'm using one. Student name is Tom, height is 5.2. Okay, and course name we have to write Java. Mark is 96. Okay, yeah, so it's printing all the output. Whatever we given an input, okay, we'll get all the outputs. You're able to see here. Like this way we need to access the classes and the object. Any doubts in this? In the same way you just write for the employee details. Okay, and I will write one simple code for the addition. Okay, one more code, and I'm going to create a new class. Okay, this is for the addition. Okay, and here I need to create a variable declaration ABC, and I need to plan to get the runtime input. For that I'm using scanner. Okay, so see, if I write here, it will automatically import the package here. Okay, so don't worry about while we using IDE, but if I writing in Notepad Plus, we have to import it, and then it won't generate automatically now in Notepad Plus. In that time we need to use it like this, but here it will automatically generate it like this. See, I didn't return this java.util.scanner. Okay, this line I didn't return, but while we writing the scanner, it will automatically generate. Okay, and here I created the object. Only one object is enough, so only one data types I'm having here, right? All are integer only. Okay, so now we need to get the input, right? Public void get addition. Okay, addition. Okay, get addition. Then void calci addition. Okay, or else we'll make it as result. Okay, okay. So now we will get the runtime input system.out.print. Enter first number and a equal to s1 dot next int. Okay, in the same way we need to get the value for the second number, right? So here we need to write second. This is for the b variable, right? And here I need to calculate it, c equal to a plus, and finally we need to print the output, print ln sum of two number is, okay, plus c. Okay, like this we need to print the output. And if we need to access this addition class, go to the main function, and now we need to create the object for the addition class. Okay, so for that, what is the addition class name? Addition obj equal to new addition. Okay, and this is the addition object 2 or 1, I will make it like that. Okay, obj1 dot, so here I can able to access that get addition, and obj1 dot calci addition. Okay, so I created the object. So once I run, so it will asking the runtime input, right? So whatever the input I'm given here, based upon that it will calculate and it will print the output. Okay, so like this way we'll get the input and the output. See, one more time I'm running here. Okay, so it will display the output. Like this way we need to create the classes and the object. Okay, and next what we are going to do now, we'll create a constructor. Okay, so what is constructor? Constructor is one of the special function which is available in all classes. Okay, so I'm creating a separate project, constructor. Okay, Java constructor, like that I will create it. Okay, just I'm clicking next and next and finish. Okay, now here I'm going to create a class first. This is a main class I'm planning for the program. Okay, and I need to create it in a separate folder. For that I'm using package name com.string. Inside that program, and this is a main class function. Okay, I need to generate the main method also, so I'm checking this checkbox. That's it, one main function is created here. Okay, so remove all the unwanted codes. Okay, now here I'm going to plan for the constructor. So first I will create the default constructor. So what is mean by default constructor? Default constructor, if you create a class, default constructor will automatically generated in all the classes. Okay, so for example, I will give the class name as an employee. Okay, in this employee class, okay, once you create the employee class, the default constructor will automatically created here. Okay, so how to create the default constructor now? Like this way we need to create the default constructor. This function will automatically available. Class name and function name must be same. This is one of the special function which is available in all classes. Not only in this employee classes. Okay, in this program class also we are having a constructor. Okay, that constructor we need to create it. If you need, you can create it like this way. Okay, this is the default constructor. In all the classes we are having, it's a default constructor. Okay, so for what purpose we are using this constructor, we'll see that. Before that, for an employee, what are the details we need? Name, designation, and salary. Okay, and experience. These are all the details I'm going to declare for the employee class. Okay, and these are all the member data. Okay, these are all the member data, and I need to assign the value for all the member data using this default constructor. Okay, so how to assign it? So here I can use like this, John, and what is the designation? Is an manager, a salary 5, and then experience is 5 years. Okay, so default value, we can give all the default value, whatever the default value we need to assign for your variable, that values you can assign it in a default constructor. Okay, so after assigning this value, we need to display the employee details, right? For that, display employee details. One function separately I'm going to create it, and here I'm using system.out.println within a parenthesis double quotation employee name plus name. Okay, in the same way I'm going to plan for designation, salary, and experience. Okay, and here I will change the designation. Here it is salary, right? Salary. Here it is experience. Okay, I need to change the variable name also here. Designation and salary, and here experience. That's it. Okay, so default constructor, using default constructor I'm assigning the value for the variable. For that purpose we can use the default constructor. And here, see one thing, I'm not having any void keyword or return keyword. Okay, so if you create any function, we need to use void or return statement. But here, no need to write it anything. It will automatically return the value. Okay, so for the return keyword, what we will plan, we will write one more function for that. Okay, so here I'm going to write a bonus. Okay, bonus, and I need to calculate the current salary. Okay, so this one I'm going to do. So for that, see, I'm having some employee details in default constructor, and as well as I displayed all the detail, and I'm going to assign the bonus value based upon this experience. Okay, and using that bonus value, I need to calculate the current salary with the previous salary. Okay, so how to write it, we'll see that. Okay, so for that we will create one function first. Okay, public and int, this is the integer data type only, right? So I'm using int. Okay, so int, or else you can use double also. Double is a default one. Okay, we can use double also, and here we'll write calculate salary. Okay, like this one function. See, immediately it will display the error message, right? So why? Because we need to add the return. Return, what we need to return here? current salary, right? You will write a current salary. Okay, I need to print the current salary in this function. So before that I need to check if the experience is greater than 5, greater than equal to 5. It will enter into this block, and I'm going to assign the bonus 5000. Okay, else if the bonus is less than 5 and bonus is greater than equal to 2. Okay, in that time I need to assign the bonus for 2 5. Okay, else if it is 1 or 2 like that now, we can give 500 as a bonus. Okay, so like this we will plan it, and based upon this bonus amount I need to calculate the current salary. So how to calculate it? Current salary, and I need to add this bonus amount with the salary amount, right? So salary plus bonus. Now finally it will print the current salary from this function. Okay, like this way we can calculate. This is a return type function. See, this is a return type function. Why? Because I created the data type here. I'm not written void. Okay, but if I used void, no need to write the return statement. Okay, but if I used a data type function, we need to write the return keyword. Return statement we need to write it here. Okay, otherwise it will display the error message. These are all the functions only. Similarly, this constructor also is a function, but here I am not return any void or return keyword. Why? Because it will automatically return the value. Okay, so no need to write a void or return statement. Okay, so now how to access this employee class in our main function, we'll see that. And in main function, and I'm going to create a employee class object obj equal to new employee. So in this time the constructor, the default constructor, right? Constructor will automatically invoke. Okay, so no need to call that constructor function separately. Instead of that, what are the other functions we are having here? Display and as well as current calculate salary. Only that two functions we are having. That one we need to call. So display employee, and this is a void function. So directly I can call like this. But if it is an calculate salary is a return type function. No, here see, we don't have any system.out.println to print the current salary. So for that, what we need to do now, go to the main function, go to the main function, and here we need to write a system dot out dot println. Inside that we can write a current salary. Okay, current salary, that obj dot what is that, current salary, that function we need to call like this. Okay, and in the same way, if we need to write a static block also we can write it. And here I'm going to write a system dot out dot println. This is an employee details, right? I'm writing like this, employee details. Okay, employee details. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we'll run this. See, employee details, whatever the default value, based upon that it will print, and it's automatically calculate the bonus and it will print the output also. Okay, like this way we need to create the default constructor. Okay, and here I already told you In this class also we are having, in main function also we are having a default constructor like that. So how to invoke this constructor? We need to write any system.out.println. Otherwise, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut all this 3 line and I'm going to write it inside this class. Okay, inside this constructor function I written. Okay, now what I'm going to do here now, I need to access this constructor in main function. Then only the program will execute. See, if I'm going to run this, the program will not execute. Okay, why? Because in main function we don't have anything, right? So we need to call this constructor. So how to call? Again, we need to create the program object, program class object obj1 equal to new memory allocation program 1. Okay, and using that object, no need to call the constructor. Okay, that will automatically invoke, so don't worry about that. So instead of this constructor, I'm not having any other variable or function in this program class, right? So static block will automatically call, so no, don't worry about that one also. Okay, so here we need to create only the class object like this, and if you run this, it will automatically print the output. Okay, so like this way this default constructor will invoke. And see, using this obj, I'm accessing the to function, and if you need to access the variable also, you can access it. For example, if I use to access the name, okay, directly we can access, and you can give any other name, and using that name we can print the output also. Okay, so if you need, we can access like this way also. You can give separate value for each and every variable through the object, and after that you can call the display method and as well as calculate salary method, and it will print the output. Based upon this value, it will print the output. After this we need to call. Okay, you just write that one, I'm not going to write it. Okay, so you can assign the value for yeah, other variable. So here I'm using name variable, right? So in the same way you can assign it for the so what are the other variables we are having here? Designation, salary, experience. For this you can assign and you can get the output. Okay, so now I'm not going to use this one. Okay, you just try it. Here see, using that object I'm accessing the member data and as well as member function, but in this program class I'm not having any member data or any other member function, right? So no need to create this object unnecessarily. Okay, so you can create the object like this way also, just a new program. Only constructor we are having here, right? None other variables or functions, we don't have anything here. So only the constructor function we are having. So if you need to call that default constructor or parameter constructor, no? Okay, now we are using default constructor. Directly we can access like this way. Okay, this type of object is called as an anonymous object. Without creating an object, if I'm accessing the constructor function, no? That function, that object is called as a anonymous object. Okay, so like this way also we can call. Just run and see the output. It's working. Okay, so this is a constructor, and here I created a default constructor. And what is parameter constructor? How to create the parameter constructor? I will create a separate constructor for that. Okay, here I will give the small example. Simple interest calculation. Okay, and see, I'm going to write principal amount, number of year, rate of interest. Rate of interest. Okay, and we need to display the value, right? For the double SI. That's it. we declared all the variable, and go to the source package, and or else you can give the constructor like this way also. You can create a constructor. This no, that is easiest way. So in Eclipse we can create it. Okay, select all the field and generate it. So here we create, and for this SI no need, right? Okay, is that SI this one. Okay, so other constructor, I pass the argument constructor public, that class name, and here whatever the declarations I'm having here, okay, I declared all the declaration in argument, and I'm having a class variable and argument variable same, right? So if you need to assign the value from argument variable to class variable, now we need to use this keyword. Okay, and this super is a constructor predefined method. Okay, this will automatically invoke to this current class constructor. For that purpose it's generating automatically. If you need, you can write it, otherwise no need to write it. Okay, by defaultly that constructor is available there. Okay, like this way we need to write the parameter constructor, and finally we need to write a calculation, right? Calcs. And here I need to use SI equal to principal amount into number of years into a rate of interest divided by 100. Okay, and here system dot out dot print, inside that we can write simple interest amount is plus SI. That's it. Okay. Okay, like this way we need to create. And now go to the main function, and here now I'm going to access the simple interest constructor function. So for that I'm going to create obj2 new simple interest principal amount number of years 1000 12 years 2 percentage interest. Okay, I passed all the argument variable value, and finally I need to calculate that value and I need to display the output. That's it. Okay, so now I'm not going to call this default constructor. Employee program will not execute. Why? Because I'm not calling that one. Okay, directly I'm going to call the simple interest. So just will run. See, only the simple interest calculation program will execute here. Okay, and right now what I'm going to change it here now, just see, I'm going to use the two program in single file, right? So for that, here just I will mention constructor. Okay, so this one is a default constructor. Okay, employee details demo. Okay, in the same way, this is the parameter constructor. Copy this and paste it here. This is a para constructor, and this is for the simple interest. Okay, simple interest calculation. Okay, simple interest calculation. Okay. Now I'm going to execute the both one. I remove that command line. This will write. See, constructor, default constructor for employee details, that will also executing here, and as well as parameter constructor, simple interest calculation, that output also is coming here. Okay, so like this way we need to create the default and the parameter constructor. Okay, and as well as we have a copy constructor in Java, but that copy constructor we are not using mostly, so don't worry about that. You just learn the default and the parameter constructor how to create it. Okay, so now you understand the classes and the object, and as well as how to create the constructor, default constructor and the parameter constructor. Okay, in next session we will see the inheritance. Okay, next session we'll see the inheritance concept. Thanks for watching.